Hey everybody, it's Kira. I'm back with the weekly rewind. It's been a few weeks. Sorry about that. We had IndyCon and then I had a family matter come up that prevented me from being able to stream, and then and now here we are, like 3 weeks later. So back for the weekly rewind. We've got lots of games to talk about because we had our local convention the weekend before Gamma, and then obviously we've all been kind of stuck inside, so we've all been playing things, social distancing-ish, like you're supposed to and all that fun stuff. So hopefully you guys are staying safe out there and enjoying some family time or some friend time gaming together in a safe spaces, lots of hand sanitizer, of course, and just taking advantage of all this extra time, hopefully pulling some of the positives out of it. So anyway, we've played a handful of games, and I'm going to do my best to remember everything, but I'll start with IndyCon. So at IndyCon, played some old things, some new things, some old things that are new again because I only had played them at prototype level. So to start, we played Nova Luna. It was one of the first things I played at the show. Taught that to a friend who hadn't had a chance to play it, and it was, it's a lot of fun. We've talked about it a few times on the show, and so we also played Dark Ages. We played Gun and Cunnin', and I have that here to show. I don't have Dark Ages, but I have pictures. And then we played Terramara, which is a game we played back around just right after Gen Con last year, like a pre-production copy of it. And Jeremy picked it up at Essen, brought it to IndyCon, and got to play that with a couple of friends. I'd forgotten how much I like that game, and it's just such a tight ecosystem where you have basically disappearing worker placement spots. As you're going through the rounds, there's these little slots on the top, and those are your worker placement spots, but they're going to flip and they become something else. And I posted some pictures on Instagram. Jeremy, being the person who knows the rules and is very good at seeing optimal paths and has played a few times, destroyed us, of course, but the rest of us were all very close. And I think there was some conversation about, could there be a runaway leader problem in that game? But I'll be honest, I don't think so, because mostly the fact that I just think we didn't all, if you don't know the game and you can't optimize your turn as well as you could knowing the game better, what the different paths are and everything, it was like a good refresh, and I felt like I did pretty well, being that it had been, 8 months, not even, right around that since we played it last. So anyway, great game, but we'll talk about the ones I have to show, and we'll get into those in a minute. We also have played, so much stuff, I feel like, because there's just been some time, but there's been a lot of time that's passed. So I've got today to talk about some more Villainous that we just played earlier today that I hadn't had a chance to play yet. We've got Tournament of Avalon, we've got Tang Garden, we've got the Matchbox Collection, Trekking the World, Lions of Lydia, Gun and Cunning, Guerrilla Marketing. I finally got my Green Goblin pack and Thor for Marvel, so I got to play that. And we'll talk about all of that today, but first I'm going to jump into, and be sure to let me know what you guys are playing in the chat. Chat's awful quiet tonight, so jump in and say hello if you're there and you're with me. But we will go right into Tang Garden. So let's switch cameras here. So Tang Garden, this was a game that showed up while I was, unfortunately, had to be away from home, and it was going to snow that weekend. And I asked Jeremy if he would be willing to come by and pick it up for me to make sure it didn't sit out all night. And he did, and then he learned the rules again, because he played it before when it was on Kickstarter. And then he put it all together for me on top of it, which is pretty amazing. And I'm so appreciative. So we got a chance to play it. So what we've got here are a lot of beautiful tiles and pieces. I'm going to do my best to give you at least a somewhat of an idea here. So this is half the board. Let me make sure you guys can see it okay on the camera. Yep. So you got about half the board here. And what's going to happen is you're going to have stacks of tiles in each of these corners, and they're going to be the tiles that you find laying out here on the board. And there's going to be different things that allow you to pull different landscape tiles and place them like so into the board, as you can see here. And there'll be smaller pieces as well. And you're working to create specific eyesight things, because the different influencers in the area that you'll be bringing in, which are these lovely little miniatures that you see here, all have different things that they like. For instance, let's see. Oh, that's the wrong language. I put the more than one language in here. The Wanderer was a Kickstarter one that came with it. But you've got these different guys, and they're all going to have different things that they can do, and they're going to have an ability that happens when they're with you. So if their miniature is on their card in front of you. But as you put them out into the garden, you're looking to score their bottom points. And there'll always be one at the end of the game that doesn't score as you're collecting these different influencers to come and visit your garden throughout what you're doing. And you're going to be populating the garden with these lovely tiles. If I can ever get to them, they're right here, that's why. There are going to be tiles you're placing out, and there's going to be this one central tile that kind of starts everything. And you're looking to create matches, which are going to allow you to move up your tracks for water, earth, and dirt, I guess. Maybe that's not greenery, so forests and stuff, and then earth. So you're going to be moving up these, and you're going to be able to gain more influencers, as I mentioned, and more money as you go along the way. You'll have some special abilities you can flip throughout the game, which is what those bottom circles are for. But ultimately what you're doing is you're placing these tiles and you're decorating with trees, with little fish that'll just come out and go here. They're small. You've got these lovely little pieces that are going to go out, bridges and everything. Quite cute production here that's going to go out and take up the board and create new spaces and new scoring opportunities. And you're going to score based on things like these icons are going to matter to the different people in different ways. So, for instance, this child wants to see deer. So we would want to be putting deer in the path of the child, so the child is getting what he wants and is happy with his visit, right? So, so that is kind of the very brief overview of what's in this box, which is gorgeous. And if we'll just look at some of these beautiful tree cards and the pavilion cards, the flowers, and they're going to score in different ways. Trees are for the variety, okay? Fish are only in paired with birds. Lotus flowers are only in pair with peonies. So you only score in pairs for those. Bridges are going to score, but there's only certain locations you can put them in, things such as that. Overall, just a very beautiful game. So we got to play it today, and I love it. I had a wonderful time playing it. It's a beautiful production, as I mentioned, and I'm excited to see what the expansions bring, which I have both from the Kickstarter. I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what all is Kickstarter and what all is not. I just know I wanted the game. This was on my most anticipated for the last couple of years because it was originally supposed to come last year. I'll have to say it was definitely worth the wait because I'm quite happy with how it turned out, even though I cannot, for the life of me, put anything back in the box today. Jeremy figured out this puzzle. There wasn't a really good description of how everything goes in once you get it all together, but he figured it out. Huzzah. So that is the base for Tank Garden, and just look at this incredible box, and the spot UV on that is just lovely. And it comes, the Kickstarter one anyway, showed up with these two expansions. So let me move this out so we can see these. So we've got Ghost Stories and the Golden Age. We haven't dove into these quite yet, but you can imagine that they're going to be a lot of fun, and the box is just quite gorgeous. So again, we've got this lovely Spy V going on here, and when you open it up, this is, I believe, the one with the campaigns of sorts. So I'm not 100% sure. Oops, I need a little baggie for these, don't I? Did you get some new influencer types, get some new landscape types, some new decoration cards. There's a die involved in this one. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose which scenario basically you want to play, and it's going to tell you which tiles and stuff you want to use based on the story that you're looking to build, which is kind of a neat little thing. And I love that there's just more stuff to the game, but as cool as this box was, and I love the dragon on the front, I was more excited visually by Ghost Stories. Ooh, okay. So this has, I don't even know, but limited edition, which is always kind of a neat thing. We've got new tiles, and they've got that holographic foil looking stuff on them. And again, I needed to probably put these away differently than I did when I punched this box. But that was, I'd say, the thing. There's nothing that says, hey, intuitively you should put these here. But anyway, what I didn't realize is I have upgraded wooden versions of all those tokens from the base game. Wooden, plastic, I don't know. A really neat little bag that I don't know what it's for yet. There's this dude, just cool token. More dice and random things going on here. And then, again, more influencer types and more decoration types. And only one of them is this special tree, as you see here, which is just beautiful. But the tiles were incredible. And again, we've got these, I don't know what these are for, but is that not just beautiful? I love, this must have something to do with player stuff since there's 4 of them, because I believe it's a 2 to 4 player game. Might be 1 to 4, yeah, it's got a solo mode. So anyway, so that's a quick look at Tang Garden, and I'll be playing this more for sure, without a doubt. And then I'll know more about these lovely expansions that I just got done showing you. I just am so happy. I don't mind waiting for my game if I know it's going to come, and I knew it was going to come because it's Thundergriff and they're a reliable publisher. I had no problem waiting. They were very communicative throughout the entire process. We never really had to wonder what was going on with our game. But it was quite lovely. And just so you guys get a visual of this craziness, this is everything for Tang Garden. So, oh, Karen dropped in for a minute. Hi, Karen. So this is everything for it. There's a lot there. All right. It's a nice, hefty, exciting reward. So I had just a wonderful time playing it, and I can't wait to play it again. So if anyone else has Tang Garden, please jump in and let us know. Let's see. So I should go ahead and point out that we have the wonderful folks at CrowdOx to thank for sponsoring our little segment about my new arrivals. That would be one of my new arrivals. And I want to show you a few more of those. So let's switch to close-up cam again. I just got my promos from Board Games Spotlights Kickstarter, which is great. There's a lot of fun things here. There's games that I have never played. There's some Everdell, which I got my Everdell expansions in, so I'll talk about those in a second. Herbaceous, great game from Pencil First. And there's some here I just don't know, so bear with me. There's a but. There's Lizzie for Chronicles of Crime, and there's Lizzie on Sweet Mess. which should be coming soon, I think. If it's not out already, I think it's coming soon. Anyway, lots of Haunt the House, great stuff. Raccoon Tycoon, some Sagrada, which is awesome. Steampunk Rally, very exciting. So I can't wait, and I'm gonna, learn about some games that I didn't know about before, which is why I love supporting these Kickstarters for our fellow content creators and learning a lot more, because this is all like the Lizzie pack, so there's all kinds of stuff in here, I think. I say Lizzie pack, but it's probably both of them. Oh, look, there's Derek. There's the news at 11. Ooh, that's a good one. I think that's for Shards of Infinity. Let's see. Oh my. Some of these are pretty silly. But, yeah, so there's all kinds of... I like that one. That was one of the first pieces of art I saw them share. I really enjoyed that. Ooh, Western Legends, Man in Black. These are really good. Some good ones here. And, yeah, I always like seeing the ones that build them into it, but just in general, I like having promos. I'm a promo person. They're fun. So let's go ahead, and I have not opened my Everdell expansions just yet, but they did arrive, and I'm very excited. So we'll show those off really quick, and just a quick visual there for you. And yes, there's a lot more games back here for me to show. We'll get to all of those in just a minute. But, so just more locations for you to go to in Everdell. So this one looks to be a Spire Crest, Uncharted Land. So it looks like there's some adventure to this. You get more frog ambassadors, lizards, saddles, critters, big critters even. And then in Belfair, this one kind of looks like a cold land, doesn't it? A little bit. Some snow. This looks like another kind of a fall land. So last we had Pearlbrook, so now we've got these other new lands. So I think one of them brought in some sort of, I don't know, campaign sort of vibe to it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply into it. But there's some obviously really cool things. And if it's anything like the previous bits, the bits are going to be amazing. And it's going to be a lot of fun to play. It's a great little worker placement game for those of you who do not know Everdell. So we'll see more of that once I get it opened up. Now, that should do it for all of my, well, no. Yeah, for all my new arrivals that have anything to do with with Kickstarter specifically as far as what I got in. Now, got a few other interesting games, and there's one in particular. They're all so good. I'm going to jump into finishing up a couple of the one that I talked briefly about with some pictures on a previous stream. Which was Lines of Lydia, which was on David's Most Anticipated, and we played that. And then I've got Gun and Cunnin'. I'm going to talk about those two next. And then after that, we'll talk about, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see who's here and what people want to hear about. So let's go ahead and move back to the close-up, and we'll go into Lines of Lydia. So this is a pre-production copy, so this is just a media sample, okay? So things might change, but you got this like kind of bag builder vibe to it. And so you're going to be pulling out, now some of these are for my starting card. Actually, let's just get that out so you can see what it looks like. So this is your board, okay? And then there's this central market. And everybody's gonna have one of these boards, and everyone's gonna have access to the central market, and there's gonna be these cards out all around the board, and these are going to be ways that you can build out your engine, if you will, for, you're going to have cards that are over here, and then you're going to have cards over here, and it's basically meaning you're upgrading them over time, and they're worth points, and the points are at the bottom, and they do different things like help you get more blues, or more yellows, or more greens, depending on how you pull your guys. So you're going to pull out, say, that goes there to track this, because this is a way to get points, so you can move this guy up. This allows you to get a golden meeple. This gets you coins. Coins are obviously points in this game. And you're going to be putting your guys in these different places. And if you put them in blue, and that's the blue tower, you're going to get double blues. And so you can see how an engine starts to be built here. There's an interesting mechanism with gold ones. that, I'm sure I'm going to get it wrong, but there you have the center and you have coins. You're working to get coins so that you can purchase these different things. And when it comes out, so we have, just like I said, the prototype with these little wooden guys, but you know me, I'm a sucker for metal coins. They'll look like this, which is great. I don't know if that's an upgrade or what. Oh, deluxe, for the deluxe edition, that's what it is. So yeah, so this is kind of what it's a quick little little game, and it's got this neat little kind of bag builder element to it. And that was David's most anticipated. We'll let him talk about how he felt about it. I think I gave a few thoughts last time after he had his initial play, but I'm sure he'll play it a few more times before he fully weighs in on it. And again, this is a pre-production type, so things may change. You never know. All right, so then we have Gun and Cunnin', which I'm just gonna start calling it divvy dice because I know that's what they're gonna call it when it comes to us. So Andrew is here. Hi, Andrew. It's okay that you're late. I get everyone's playing Animal Crossing. I have to steal the Switch from my husband, I think. I haven't played Animal Crossing in so long, it's silly. But yeah, so Jeremy Howard's in, and he mentioned the Lions of Lydia. We've got Johnny Pack hitting on. Johnny Pack did, Coloma, and had his hands on a bazillion other really good games. He's one of my most anticipated for last year, which is going to escape me all of a sudden. Andrew, you were just playing it. What was it? It was a Western, because he loves Western stuff, and that's his thing, even though this is clearly not a Western, but he's just incredibly good. So I think we're going to see a lot more wonderful things from him. Oh, it's going to kill me that I can't think of the name of this game right now. It's Board and Dice. What is it? It's such a good game. Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute, or Andrew will say it in the comments because he's going to know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this is Gun and Cunnin', Divvy Dice. And it's an interesting little game. So you're going to have two kinds of cards that are out. These B cards. Whoop, 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 whoop. This is coming to the U.S. with Stronghold Games, if you're curious. And Jeremy picked this up off of Amazon DE or something, I'm sure. And it's got it's not Wolfgang, it's somebody else who I don't know, so forgive me. I'm not going to butcher his name either. But you're going to, similarly to Gons, you're going to roll, and then you're going to choose which dice you want to keep. And during your game, your goal is to build out a grid of sorts, and it has to be a 3x3 grid. And once you place, you've determined your grid. So if I go here now, this has got to be one of the rows. I can't change my mind and make it a 4. So now I'm going this way, and I'm either now going this way or this way. Am I going to build it out which way? And the goal here is that with these different cards you're getting, and you're acquiring from the different things that you're doing, like getting from here, you're filling in with the dice that you choose. So I need a 3, I'm going to mark this 3 off, I'm keeping it, and so on. And then you get to re-roll, and each time before you re-roll, if you're going to re-roll, for the first 2 times, the other players then pick one of the leftover dice before you re-roll them. So it's got a little bit of that Gons vibe to it. And then, so you'll see here, like this one says, you're going to get 5 points for every card around this card, right? It doesn't, I don't think this one's color specific. It's not. It just wants you to be surrounded, right? And there are other ones that will be color specific. So like this one, for every pink that's out, you'll get 4 points. But you're going to need these other cards, these B cards, which are going to be abilities. They're going to help you with your game. So here I can change the any die to any color die. And I get to do that 3 times, but I have to have completed this first, which means that I need a green that's less than, right? So, so the numbers want to go greater than that way. So there's all these different stipulations in order to get the bonus actions and to get the scoring tiles in order to get your game. Now, I've only played it once, so I'm going to play it again. I'm going to love it. I know that I will because I enjoyed my first play of it. And now we'll be able to talk more about it. Maybe we'll live stream it. I don't know. But I really like it so far. My initial impressions are I dig it. And I'm sure they'll make it into an app because they've been doing that. But this is one I just kind of like to play. And it does have a solo. It does have all the things you'd expect it to have for one of these roll and writes. And my inability to put things away. Always a bonus. So that's a very brief look at Gunna. Alright, back to the main screen to say hello. Alright, let's see, who do we have here in the chat? Sierra West. Thanks. I said it's a Western, and he named Dark Ages and Teotihuacan, neither of which are Westerns. But thanks, Andrew. Let's see, so... Alright, so yes, we all need to get Switches for Animal Crossing, I'm sure. And Animal Crossing is one of those games that I loved. I loved it on my GameCube. Yes, my GameCube. It was wonderful. And then I just, abandoned my town. I'm sure it's full of weeds to this day. Then I played it on the iPhone when the app came out there. Thought that was going to be like, oh, I'm back in Animal Crossing. And I found that it was like a lot of those game apps that I don't enjoy, where you are stuck waiting for stuff to happen. Now, what I don't think I remember from Animal Crossing being in there, and let's Lord hope they've not changed that, is that whole, well, if you pay, you're going to speed things up, because I hate that as well. But it's like a little engine, and it's not built for you to be in it all the time necessarily, but the more people you know, the more villages you can visit and do more things and have all that. But I don't know, every time I play it, I get really excited, and then I get bored with it again, because it takes too long for things to happen. I guess. I don't know. It's a game that's super cute, but it's not something that keeps my attention for long. Anyway, games that do keep my attention for long. Villainous, because I can't stop talking about Villainous. I think on the last stream, I had just finally gotten to play the newest one that's coming, Perfectly Wretched, with Corella and Pete and... who else was in that one? Someone else. Oh, the evil mom from Rapunzel. Why can't I think of her name? I am not on top of it tonight. I need more kickstart. But Jeremy and his wife Sarah and I today played Disney Villainous. It was her first time playing, so she played as Ursula. Probably not our best. We were like, she doesn't watch a lot of Disney movies and stuff, except with the kids. So I asked her, what's your favorite Disney, whatever. She likes, the one she picked is Beauty and the Beast. And of course, Gaston is not available as a villain to play yet, although I'm sure it'll be wonderful. So then it was Ursula. So we gave her Ursula, and I wish we had said, nah, maybe you should be Maleficent or someone, because it's just, I feel like, an easier one to start with. But Jeremy and I got to play characters we were both looking forward to, one of which was Scar, which is who he played. I was also looking forward to, but more so Yzma for me. I had been going on and on when they first said, who would you like to see? I was all for Yzma and Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are my two villains I want to see. Mother Gothel, thank you, Carol, is Rapunzel's ma, or bad ma. Stolen, I don't want to spoil anything. She's not cool. Anyway, Mother Gothel, if you haven't seen it. But I got Villainous over here. I got to play Yzma today. I'm going to talk about her the most because I didn't play Scar. I will show Scar, but I won't get into it in detail because I was too busy focused on my own strategy. So let's have a look. All right. Villainous. We've got the nice Scar on the front for this. I'm waiting for the big box for this because I just want to keep everything in the box personally. But this is my copy. I haven't actually opened mine, which is kind of what I was saying. Jeremy's with him, since I have my own. We'll just go ahead and open it up here. So this one has, the third person in this is Radigan, and he's got some special stuff. I don't know anything about him. But for Scar, this is Scar, and then this was Yzma. Okay, and I'll just put Radigan out, even though I don't know anything about his. And we'll mostly talk about Yzma. Okay, so with Yzma, her big thing and her little miniature is fabulous, is it not? Let's just go ahead and get those out. Hers is my favorite of this set, although Radigan's is pretty awesome because I knew instantly it was him when they did the silhouette thing. I knew for sure. And I guessed them all. I was pretty proud of myself, but Scar seemed like he had to be, and so it made sense, and it had kind of the liney mane. Yzma with the trademark things coming out, but they all were very good. So let's just go ahead and check out Yzma first, since she makes the most sense to me at this stage. So for those of you who haven't played Villainous before, you're going to have a deck of cards, and that deck of cards is going to include me having to unwrap cards on the fly, which is always a fun time. You're going to have a Fate deck, and you're going to have your primary deck, which I'm sure also has a technical name, but it's the cards you're drawing from. The Fate deck is the cards you don't want people to draw from, because the whole point, for the love of everything plastic, the whole point of the Fate deck is for the other villains to screw with you, right? Because you're a villain. And the Fate deck is full of all of your heroes that you love to hate if you're a villain. And if you're us, they're the heroes that you love, right? So in Yzma's deck, she's got Pacha, she's got Beware the Groove, which is an effect, so you know it's from Emperor's New Groove. Kuzco himself, which is her mission, is to get Kuzco out. And a variety of other ones that are going to screw with her plans. And other players would normally be pulling from the deck over here, but Yzma works differently. You divide her Fate deck up into 4 piles and place them above her locations as so. Now when someone fates them, they actually take the whole deck, look at the cards, choose one, shuffle, and put them back. And then they have to place whoever they chose to the location that they picked up. So it's a little different than normal Villainous. In normal Villainous, you're just picking 2, choosing one, everybody knows what they are, blah, blah, blah. So, but what is she trying to do through her thing? She wants to defeat Kuzco using Krunk. Why Krunk? Well, because Krunk's her loyal right-hand man, is he not? And totally the whole reason I was excited for this was their pairing, because they're hilarious, and the art in this game is amazing. I mean, just look at all of this wonderful stuff that they did for us. Yzma is just so creepy and weird, and I love her. Anyway, so you're trying to get Kronk out. But here's the crux, because Kronk, he's kind of a dumb, lovable idiot, right? And he loves Yzma and follows her and does everything. But when he's hanging out with the Emperor and his whole crew, he kind of starts to come over to their side. So if he's getting moved around a lot by the different heroes and effects in the Fate deck, he's going to be gaining power, which is these tokens. For those of you who don't know the game, they're the currency in the game. But he'll be getting them onto him, and once he gets to 3, he becomes a hero instead. And so then you have to work to you have to treat him just like any other hero at this point, and there are ways to get the power off of him and all that. But the goal is, of course, to get here. He only has 6, he has 7. You're going to need some sort of item, for instance, to beef him up to enough to beat him. And then that's how Yzma wins the game. That's the nuts and bolts of Yzma's board. And the cards are great, as you would expect. And then for Scar, his is really super creepy. I always remember when people were talking about Cruella de Vil, like, if she ever got made into one, it would be so sad. Because, you know, her whole thing is making puppies into coats. But I actually thought they did a really nice job with her, whereas and I just can't get it out of the silly bag here, but with Scar, his deal, I'm like just curious if it's how he said it or how I heard it. But basically, he's wanting to defeat, he has to defeat Mufasa, but he has to defeat a whole bunch of heroes, and once he hits 15, he wins. So he's just out here using all his allies and jerks of the trade to basically kill all the good guy heroes, and as he stacks up a pile of bodies, he becomes the winner if he gets to 15 first, which he did. He absolutely did hit his goal and win. Scar did today. So that is Scar and Yzma. Mother Gothel coming soon, I'm sure. But most anticipated out of that box for sure were those two for me. So that's a quick look at villains. Let's go back to front cam. Hello, everybody. All right. So what do we got going on next? So let's see. Party game, anyone? I think we should talk about a party game. I'm going to preface this with, I'm not going to show pictures of when we played this party game because we're all 13-year-old teenagers inside and we were very inappropriate with how we played the game. We basically made it an After Dark game. We could have easily just put the word adult in front of every category, and that game is guerrilla marketing, which is so much fun in a weird shaped box. This is from Roxley, and I think it's shipping now. It was on pre-order, but I'm very excited to have this game, and it's a fun little party game. I really love the box and all the funny gorilla stuff. So just very briefly, I don't know that I need to go to the close-up for this one just because of how it works. So we've got these like menus, if you will. And there are things like college courses, bands, organizations, companies, products, movies, and food trucks. And under movies, and this is, let's just go ahead and put this out there. This is what started it, okay, folks? We got the category, because you roll the dice to figure out which ones you're going to do for your letter, right? So you're going to roll, and that's going to be your, oops, that's the judging phase. You're going to roll to get your category, and you're going to write that on your little book. So you have a book, and you have a category at the top. Now, Coco rolled B, which is adult. And it all went downhill from there, folks. We're inappropriate humans, and we had fun with it. And it was a hilarious time. But we actually had so much fun, we did the movies twice in a row because we just had a lot of fun with it. But you could have easily done any of it. And I, of course, made the joke that this could easily, you could just throw the word adult in front of any of these and it becomes an After Dark game if you want to. I don't think it's necessary because it's just a lot of fun. But what you're going to do, and I highly recommend that you go check out Rodney Smith's Watch It Play video on this. It makes it really easy to understand the game because that's what we did. And you're going to roll to get your category, which you write at the top. And then you're going to pass it around and you're going to roll dice. And you're going to be pulling these dice out of a bag and you're going to roll, and that's the first letter of the word of whatever the title is you're going to write down here, okay? So if I roll and it's an A, the first letter has to be an A. And then there are die that have red backs on them. That is a trigger for stopping pulling them from the bag. So when you get two of those, that's it. And you can even have blanks, and there's ones with the 2 times on it, so that means whatever the next letter is, you're going to have that in 2 in a row. So if it's M, it'd be MM. And you're going to come up with different titles. Should we just do one for fun here? Why not? Where are the dice? Oh yeah, and there's these awesome little bananas. So, fine, we'll go to the close-up cam. Let's just have fun with it. Why not? All right. So, we'll say that I picked the category anime instead of me rolling for it, just to speed things up. And what's going to happen, and there's a reminder about what's going on with the rules, is I'm going to take and I'm going to roll. So the first letter everybody needs to come up with is R. And so whoever, you immediately pass your book, you don't write in your own book. You're going to pass your book over to the person on your left, and they're going to be thinking about what anime title that I can have start with an R? I'll roll another one. RF. That's my first red. That's my second red. So the whole title is 2 letters, RF. So what's a good anime title starting with RF? What do you guys think? Throw them up in the comments. I'm going to put one on here. And we're going to say Robot Fancy. No, Fury. Why not? Anime always has robots. Then we put an X here, so that way we know this one's been done. And it gets passed back, and then you pass it on to the next player, and then the next player rolls, and we do the whole thing again. You're going to pull them out of the bag in the same way. And you're going to keep going based on player count till your deal comes back to you. So then, let's see, do we have any really good ones in the comments yet? Not yet? That's cool. That's fine. We'll come back to it. So then, once you pick the winning title, then you're going to do it all over again. You're going to erase all of the pages. You're going to write the winning title, Robot Fury, up at the top. And then you're going to do it all over again, but you're going to do it this time. And you have awards. So in the midst of that, you're rolling to see what award you want to give it, which might help you decide what the winner is, though that doesn't have to be. So if you roll a K, then you get most exotic filming location or the longest dramatic stare, for instance. Like say those are the 2 you rolled. So if you're not sure, this is kind of a way to help you pick a winner. Say if they're all too good or maybe they're all too bad. Whatever the case might be, that's a way to help. And it's kind of a fun little thematic thing. Then you're going to flip and you're going to do the whole thing again. You would still have the title here. But then you're going to do it for the like the tagline of the movie. So then you're going to do the whole same thing again, and then you'll have a second judging. So glossiest poster, catchiest slogan, least offensive, most memorable. So different things you can come up with there to use as a way to pick the winning title. Person with the most bananas wins. That's pretty much what happens. And that is a very quick look at guerrilla marketing. And I would love, this actually seems like one we could easily play online together. I don't know, what do you guys think? But this might be a fun social distancing game. But I really was hoping to see more title ideas in the comments, y'all. Where are you at? Letting me down. Anyway, that's okay. That is guerrilla marketing. Whoops, switch back. All right, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, a couple of things, and I'm going to breeze through a few of them. I'm going to point out that we had the Matchbox collection. Okay, so it's these little games, and these are little prototype boxes. Ryan and I played on the live stream Golems and EO, but 15 Days was one. People were pretty hot on Space Lunch. EO and Rebus. All right, so these little games, which is again are prototype boxes, don't judge them on that. But they were super cool. And these are like 1 to 2 player. These are Euro miniature, like little mini Euro games. They're great. I cannot wait to play them again. It's part of the reason why I brought them home with me to borrow. But I actually did. I backed it for the full thing with the little collectible case. I'm all in for this one. I had a really nice time playing it. And it's Thundergriff, so if it's anything like Tin Garden, I know these tiny little boxes are going to come out amazing. Energy. All right, so let's see. I'm going to briefly switch out to talk about Fallout. This is Fallout Shelter, the board game. We played this a few times now, and Ryan and I played it on the live stream. It just felt thematically appropriate considering we're all in quarantine right now. Now, thankfully not from nuclear fallout, but instead virus stuff. I've been watching 12 Monkeys, so I'm extra freak out. Anyway, ready for all this stuff to be over. But with Fallout Shelter, this is a very cute, light worker placement game. Accessible but fun and thinky. You're going to have, and I don't have a copy, but David took it, for the weekend to play with his family. But you're going to be gaining energy, food, and water in order to take actions at different spots on these different cards. And your little guys, you're going to start off with 2. And then you're going to have to, you can see the little red on the card there. That's what you pay. The green is what you get. And you're going to be working to build these little engines with your workers. When the game isn't triggered, engines triggered when someone has built all 6 of their vaults locations, or when the enemy deck is run out. And you can see here there's workers sitting in front of the letters. I have never played Fallout, don't judge me, but they all stand for something, and those of you who like Fallout know what they stand for. But the most important thing to remember is if a worker spot has that letter and your guy is in that letter and you move your guy to that worker placement spot and he has success with whatever he's going there, whether it's just placement or going against an enemy, you're going to get double the reward, which is really nice. So there's a lot of really cool, it's quick. It's just a quick little worker placement game, and the little miniatures are amazing. So that is Fallout, and that's Fantasy Flight. I believe it's on pre-order. Ryan and I just live streamed it so you can check out and see for yourself. We played it a couple of times since then between all of us, and we really like it. So another game that I had meant to play at IndieCon, and then we were supposed to play last Saturday, maybe the Saturday before. My weekends are running together now because of all this. But AJ from Colossal Games was supposed to come over to a game day we were having, and he was going to show me Ruination because I didn't get a chance to play it at IndieCon. This is a game, and I took little clips from Kevin's preview video, so sorry if it's a little bit jumpy there, just to give you a quick look at the game. But the fact is that I played this well before it was ever called Ruination, back in my days with Colossal. This is Travis's latest game, Travis Chance. He designed like Heroes Wanted and All Manner of Evil, as far as games you might recognize. And this is his best one yet. I think it used to be called something else. I won't say what the other name was because I'm not even 100% sure that was anything more than a prototype name. So it was interesting to see it come around to this. Now, unfortunately, I still haven't had a chance to play it just because circumstances. AJ I was unable to make it due to a fender bender. It started snowing that day and people were being crazy. But he's okay, thankfully, but I didn't get a chance to actually play it, but I will soon, I'm sure. It's currently on Kickstarter, and it's got the art from Roland McDonald, or Roland's Revenge, who did the art for Western Legends, for Undaunted, for a bazillion other games, his own game Ruthless, which I love the art for Ruthless. And it's just a really neat worker placement game, and it's a tight worker placement game. It's not one of those where you're building big armies of workers, I say worker placement, area control. It's an area control game. You're not building these giant armies for the area control. They're smaller and a little tighter because of the thematic nature of the game. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. Definitely check it out. It's only got a few more days left on Kickstarter. I think it's close to funding. But it's definitely one of Travis's better games. Not that any of his games aren't great. It's just you can see the progression over time with what he's learned and brought to all the different games you've seen come from Colossal, from Western Legends to Mezzo to this. It just looks really great. I'm really excited to play it. And I hope that everybody checks it out because it's a good game and there's a lot of good people over there. So that is Ruination from Colossal. Kevin did a preview on it, so if you want to learn more about the gameplay and everything, please go check that out. Check out their Kickstarter page. Give them some support. The last one I'll mention that I have pictures for is Dark Ages. We played this at IndieCon. We did a cool leader video for it, so please check those out on our channel. We've got a preview and our leader series, which was kind of like our Marvel one, where we kind of hone in on some of the leaders and what they do. I specifically in the leader series talk about the leader I played with at IndieCon, which I found to be ruthless. Just a ruthless, awesome character, and it's this wonderful civilization game with miniatures. They're great, and what I like is that it's a race, but it's not a race like most Civ games. It's got all of these different point opportunities that you can bring to the table, and really, it could be anyone's game because of how the point scoring happens. It's got a point salad vibe to it. There's a lot of different really cool things about it. So they extended their Kickstarter a few days. We're going to be doing a little contest that they sent us some information. We get to do a contest on that'll launch tomorrow for the last 2 days of the campaign. But it is, if you like Civ games at all, I had started to think I didn't until I played this, honestly. I hadn't had much luck with Civ games. The couple I'd played had been fallen kind of flat, especially because I played a lot of things at 2-player, and it just felt like this tit for tat kind of situation. We played this at 4, which I think is probably best for most Civ games anyway. We had different experiences across the board, and I think that's just because specifically we didn't draft, and that would have changed the game significantly. But I had a lot of fun playing it. Can't wait to play it again. It's like 1 to 8 if you get both boxes. Very surprisingly well priced for what you're getting inside that box. So that's on Kickstarter right now. I'm looking forward to checking that out as well. So I think that's all of my picture games. So I'm going to go into just a couple more. One that we're going to be playing on the live stream this week. I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to actually break it out because we are playing it on the live stream this week. We played this at IndieCon. This is Tournament of Avalon. It's a trick-taking game. It's super interesting. It's got these weird cards that really change how the game plays. Like, what was it? Josh was playing and he wanted arrows. If he ended up with arrows, like if he won the trick and he had arrows, and he can distribute them back out. And there are like the highest number loses, right, at the end instead of the lowest. And there's also poison. Like certain cards have poison on them, so they hurt you worse. They're like double hurt. Anyway, and then there's like really mean cards built in that just completely screw up everything that you've been doing against the normal rules of the game. So we're going to be playing this on the Wednesday live stream. Tune in to watch all 4 of us play. We'll be playing at the main studio, and we'll be giving a copy of it away thanks to our friends at WizKids. So thank you very much to them for that. Looking forward to playing that again. And I don't normally like trick-taking games. I was telling Andrew, who's in the comments, about this. Andrew, you definitely want to check this one out since you are so in love with trick-taking games. All right, let's go back over here. I'm going to talk a little bit about Trekking the World. This beautiful game is the follow-up to Trekking the National Parks by Charlie Bink and Underdog Games. You've got this lovely glow board, which I just think is super cool. I like how they made it so, if you look at it compared to national parks, this is a little, I like the layout of this better. And then you've got these wonderful location cards. And these are the ways you're going to score points throughout the game, are by visiting these different locations in the different cities. And there's cubes you pick up, and there's some set collection going on, and points, and there's different ways you score points, and there's some special abilities that pop out that change the game each time. But I mean, the game is good. This is a great family weight gateway game that you're not going to get. It's just good. It's got a Ticket to Ride kind of vibe to it. I mean, you're not making, but it's going to be easy for you to bring in and teach people and also enjoy playing. It's a good game, and even though it is light, and we all need those games every once in a while, and it's just, look at this postcard art, basically, for each of these lovely locations. And the Kickstarter is up right now for this. This is their first Kickstarter, but they're doing a really nice job, and I really like seeing how it's all coming along. And the art is, obviously, because I keep just putting more of it out for you guys to look at, is all I care about in this game. The gameplay is good, so the rest of it is just icing. This is just place order art because this is a prototype. But the other cool thing is, this is great. You can learn about the different places you're visiting on top of it. So it's got, not that it needs to be educational, but it is if you want it to be. And I don't know, I learned about stuff I didn't know about. There's a lot of these locations, I mean, I haven't been that many places, so. I thought it was great, and it's beautiful, and I love how it turned out. And this is, again, just a prototype, but it's a dang good looking prototype, y'all, so. Trekking the world in Kickstarter. All right, last thing. We're gonna talk about Marble Champions. I got the 4-player mat. Love the way it looks, although I'm a little disappointed that it didn't have like, and David brought this up the other day, like it's not set up for Wrecking Crew, which is kind of weird. But I did just get, and I don't want to hear anyone calling me a monster because I don't sleeve my cards, okay? I just hate sleeving, and I hate when they're not matte. So there, that's how I feel about it. And I need a better organizer. I'm building one, and I'm not done yet. But Green Goblin totally kicked our butts. We did terrible. We did so bad against the Green Goblin. So yeah, risky business. So this is Oscorp. We basically had like everything compounding. We had one of these, we had one of these, we had the ones that make you take extra encounter cards. We were just getting our butt kicked. But what's really cool, if I can find his main villain card, Kira, is, and this is what happens when you let other people put your games away. You have not what you're looking for, basically. I mean, it's totally perfect. Okay, so you've got Norman Osborn, and he's going to flip in the same way, not in the exact same way, but in the way that you do with your hero. He's got a special card that comes out called Criminal Enterprise, and it's going to gain tokens on it. When those tokens are gone, I think is right, yeah. When there are none on it, you're going to flip him, and he becomes the Green Goblin, and this becomes his state of madness, and different things happen. So on this side, he doesn't scheme. Instead, he has his Force Interrupt for scheming, which does something else, but he does attack. On this side, he doesn't attack. He has a Force Interrupt for that, and they all have to do with this card. They're going to be putting tokens on this card, and all of these lovely cards that are here to screw with your heroic day are going to penalize you if you do not keep this under control in the same way that you keep scheme under control. And it totally and completely kicked our butt. We did terrible. We're awful at this game. It was bad. I posted pictures of our horrible defeat on Instagram stories, so you may or may not have seen it, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry we did so bad. We did not save anything from anything. So, Thor, I didn't play Thor. I played Captain America again because I'd only played him once, and I wanted to play him again, and it was great. And my husband played Thor, and I don't think he was able to fully utilize him as well as he wanted to, or any of us would have wanted him to, if I'm being completely honest. Kevin and Coco did their normal Spider-Man and Black Panther duo, so we did bad. We were in bad shape, and we lost, and we deserved to lose because we did so badly. It probably doesn't help. I don't know, you guys tell me, but I feel like I like Marvel best at 2-player. I haven't played solo yet. I've heard solo's great for it. Like, it's kind of like Arkham Horror, same thing. You start getting above 2 and 3 player, and it's kind of becomes like a cluster. Like, super not great. Oh, hey, Games of Fire is back. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just terrible at Marvel. It kind of felt like it, and I wanted to just bury my head in the sand. And we definitely didn't get it back out to play. It wore us down. And I feel like I even said this, I said, we just need to go back to Rhino because we've been getting our butts handed to us every game we've played, the 4 of us specifically. So maybe it was like, maybe partially because Chris and I keep changing our decks because I get the new ones and I want to try the new ones. I should just go back to Captain Marvel. I know her the best and I can like kick butt with her or whatever. But I had hoped, since Cap was a similar style deck, and like with him, Thor's similar to She-Hulk or Iron Man with the aggression, it would work out. We were wrong, and we need to know our decks better probably before we play again. It was pitiful. Oh my goodness. Just so bad. Embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for myself. So anyway, so that's what's happening in the world of games around here. Love to hear what you guys are playing as well. Don't forget to join us in our Discord. I am in the process of culling some games. I've got, it's, you know, kind of being trapped in the house and the fact that I need more space for things as I get new games in. There are games that I like that I just haven't touched in a while, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a culling stream sometime in the next couple of days, and I'm going to start with a game that I really like, that I've held on to forever, but I don't have anyone to play it with anymore, and it's just taking up a ton of space on my shelf, so I've decided I'm going to give away my entire collection of Mage Wars, which is not a full, complete collection, but it's a lot of stuff. Playmats, all the different boxes, Academy and Arena, Battlegrounds, a bunch of promos, because I made sure to always hit them up for promos because they do a special promo every day of a con. And I was at a lot of cons over the last several years, and I always would stop at Arcane Wonders booth and get it all. So if you, what I want to do for this giveaway is I want people to nominate somebody they think would love Mage Wars, that has never played it, and they think they should play it, whether they're a newbie gamer or they're not, and for whatever reason they've never picked it up, you know they'd love it. I want people to nominate them. So we're going to do a live stream. I'm going to show off the collection, talk about it, maybe give away a couple other things, but it's going to be Mage Wars focused. So there's a heads up for that. Start thinking about people you know that like Mage Wars. I'm gonna give away my whole collection. I will say right now it's gonna be a US based, unless, and if it's international winner, it's just too much expense for me to ship that much game. Sorry, but it'll be a domestic for me shipment. So we'll pick a US winner. I'll put terms on it and all that fun stuff, so you guys know what to expect. But, yeah, I want to give away a lot of that game. I bought a lot of it, but a lot of it was gifted to me over the years, and it was something that was brought to me as a new gamer. It brought me a lot of fun. It helped me bring into the hobby. I want to give that gift to somebody else, so be looking out for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I've got a bunch of other games I think I'm going to do that with that I haven't touched in a long time that deserve a proper home to be played in. So until then, I will see you guys next time or online. Don't forget Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those lovely places we are. I hope to see you there, and we'll see you next time. Bye.